Hey ladies, so look, I just saw a video by Yanni and she was talking about advice that she would give to herself in her 20s. And I am in my mid 40s now, and I thought it'd be great to kind of give you some advice as well. So, this is advice especially for young women in their 20s. The first advice that I have for you is do not get pregnant. Don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant. Have three ways of birth control. If you live in a red state where you cannot easily get to a clinic, have your money saved up if you are sexually active, you know, be able to move in silence if something happens, but do not get pregnant. And I know some people, have concerns about abortion. So, like, if unless you are married, and even if you're married, if you cannot afford it, do not get pregnant because there's a lot of stats with regards to how having a baby, especially as a single woman and especially as a single Black woman, can really mess up your finances. And I should say this, I only look at things from a financial point of view. There are other people that could talk to you about other aspects of life, but I'm just focused on the finances. So don't get pregnant. Number two is if you're a little chubby, I am an obese person, so I'm saying this to you. Try to get your eating habits together and get fit and healthy in your 20s. It is easier, and you will be able to get like your health insurance cheaper. You'll be able to get life insurance cheaper. You'll be able to get better jobs, better opportunities. It's very true. So get healthy, get fit, join a gym, practice portion control, learn how to cook, all of those things. Third thing that I have is if you don't have good credit now, get good credit and keep good credit. Anything above a 680. Why? Because that really affects things like your car insurance and your ability to get certain types of employment. If you have bad credit, it keeps you out. If you're trying to get an apartment, you want to buy a house, the only thing you can get with bad credit is a car and certain types of consumer debt. So you really want to get and keep good credit. Number four is get a high paying skill, preferably one that you can do from home. Why would I say that? Okay, so certain skills that you could do are like nursing or tech or sales. And within tech, it's not just coding, it's all sorts of technical jobs. But I say that you want to try to find a skill that you could ultimately do from home because if you decide to get married, because yes, I'm a person that believes that we should be married before we have children. If you decide to get married and then have a child, but you still want to work because you still want to bring money in and, just have your independence. So it is easier to do that if you have a skill and a high paying skill that you can do from home. So you could be a freelancer. The company that you work for may say you could do, 4 days at home and 1 day come in, things like that. So accounting is another option for you. Find something that is high paying. That is something you could, hopefully do from home. And then when I say the nursing, for example, I know of this woman. She works for a personal injury attorney. She's a nurse, and she looks at the files and tells the lawyer like different things that the hospital did wrong. So even some of those nursing jobs can turn into, they don't have to be patient facing. They can turn into desk jobs. So that's number four. Number five, take a financial literacy class, learn about money, learn about credit, learn how to make money, learn how to invest, things like that. Number six, if you decide to go for a master's degree and beyond, get a scholarship. I'm telling you, as somebody who's still paying student loans, the reason I'm still paying student loans is because my mother pushed me to get a master's degree, which I did not need. I didn't need the master's degree for what I was planning to do. If I had just gotten my bachelor's degree, I had $20,000 in debt. It would have been paid for by now. So there are a lot of scholarships out here. Get a scholarship or get your employer to pay for you to go to school. Do not get saddled in student debt. Next thing, save at least $10,000 in cash. That's emergency fund money. Preferably, you want to save 6 months in cash, but that first $10,000 in cash, if something happens, and true story, I had something happen with my car and it required $600 in repairs. And because I had the money, I was like, swipe my debit card, no problem. If I didn't have the money, I would have been panicked. So as quickly as you can, try to save at least $10,000. That'll give you some breathing room. And then ultimately, you want to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. But that first 10,000, you will really feel like a weight lifted off of you. Next thing, if the company has a 401k, start putting money away in the 401k. Start investing early. If you have more money than just your 401k money to invest, then invest separately, open up a separate IRA, or open up a regular TD Ameritrade account or something like that, and just start investing in stocks. You can invest in other things like tax liens and ultimately real estate and things like that as well. But you want to start investing early. Next thing, last two things, is to find a good mentor and meet with her every 2 months. There are people that I met in my 20s that I wish I was still connected with. There are people, as you start figuring out what your career is going to be, that are able to help you navigate your career. Your network, 40% of jobs that you get will be because you know somebody who contacts you and says, hey, there's a job opening. We'll pay you $20,000 more than you're making at your old company. You should come over. You want to have a really good network, and you want to have a really good mentor who is ultimately where you want to be, because they can help you navigate your professional career. Reach out to them, ask them if you could take them to lunch, take them to dinner, take them, to have a drink, and keep up with them every month or two. Hey, I want to let you know what's happening in my life, and I want to find out how I can help you and things like that. So finding a good mentor. The final thing I'm going to say is absolutely be careful who you marry and be careful who you have a baby with. I cannot say that enough. If you choose the wrong husband for the wrong father of your child, I often say on this channel that if you choose the wrong husband and you don't have children with them, then, you can recover from that, but you can never return the father of your child. So oftentimes, and I'm going to do a show on this at some point and invite some people to come and talk. I think that we, especially in our 20s, we get panicked about who we're going to settle down with. We ignore red flags. We think this is the best person we're going to get. And thus we marry people that we should not marry. And I just want to caution you about that. You can see I'm a brown skinned girl, and I was married. I'm a widow now. I didn't have any children with him, but I will say that it is the most important decision that you will ever make, is who you will marry, and more importantly, who you'll have kids with. So choose wisely. Don't let red flags go, especially these days. There are a lot of guys out there who will see that you are an up and coming rising star, or rising in your career. And there are a lot of men who will take advantage of you and try to latch onto you because they're looking for a come up. And I have a couple of friends who experienced that. So, be very, very cautious. Don't be afraid to be single. Once you start making enough money, there's freezing your eggs and all of that stuff. So, modern technology is great. And just enjoy your 20s. Definitely enjoy your 20s. There are other people who could talk about other things like having fun and traveling and Black girl luxury and things like that. But I stick to more of the financial things. And I think that everything that I offered you today are things that will set you up for a financial a successful future. So that's it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like the video, and I will see you all on the next video.